Hey, what's up guys, BLACKbusterCritic here, and this is going to be my review of Clash of the Titans, which I went to go see the midnight release of in 3D. Now let me just tell you, what a freaking waste that was! 3D was a waste for that movie! I have never been to a movie that was displayed in 3D and there weren't any 3D effects except for the text. It was horrible! $11 on a ticket to see a movie in 3D that looked like garbage. They should be ashamed of themselves for putting a movie out like that. Pissed me off. Now, anyway, the movie in general, who was it made by? Same guy that did the first Incredible, well, not the first Incredible Hulk movie, but the newer one. That was like 2008. Well, that was an okay movie. And the star of the movie is the guy that played Jake Sully from Avatar. And, you know, when he's not big and blue, it's kind of boring. You can see how one-dimensional the guy is. Like, this entire movie, he reminded me a lot of, like, Jason Statham. Like, oh, I'm just I'm the guy, oh, I'm just so cool. And garbage like that. There's not a lot to talk about in this movie. There's a lot of complaints that I have. Well, let me gather my thoughts real quick. I'm kind of pissed off that I paid $11 to go see a movie in 3D. That wasn't really 3D. There are times in the movie where it looked really cheap. Like when they're showing the gods and everything, and they have that weird filter on the armor to make them look all shiny. That just seems cheap to me. The gods looked wimpy. When Zeus came down to Earth, when he was talking on Earth, he looked like Noah. He looked like freaking Moses from the freaking Ten Commandments movie. It looked horrible. When you're talking about a god talking to humans on Earth, I'm thinking, you know, like, make his face in the clouds, or shape the earth as his face, have him talk through the earth, or something cool like that. Show that he has some kind of powers. Don't just make him come to Earth with a staff looking like Moses. He's gonna go attack the Pharaoh. Let my people go. Hades kind of seemed kind of wimpy. He had like a little, he sounded like Shadow the Hedgehog, just like, oh, raspy voice, and I'm gonna talk all deep, and you know, I'm gonna talk like this through the whole movie. It just didn't seem like they did, like, you know, characters that were supposed to be gods justice. I mean, Hades showed that he had some godlike powers, you know, like, you know, being all ghostly or whatever, and he had these big old nasty looking wings, and he could split himself up into demons and chase people around and stuff. There were some parts of the movie that just didn't make any sense. Like, well, firstly, back to the part where I'm talking about, you know, have the gods do something godly like Zeus. You know, Mufasa in The Lion King showed them up. He was in the freaking clouds, in the constellations, freaking talking. Zeus looks like Raggedy Moses, okay? It was pathetic. But anyway, there was comedy in this movie, and a lot of the comedy was just out of place. I mean, every single character wanted to be comedy relief. That, to me, that was bad writing. I mean, you got the serious situation, they're talking, they're planning, but then, oh, you got the captain of the guard cracking jokes. And 2 minutes later, you got another guy cracking jokes. There was too much comedy in this movie. I mean, it wasn't real comedy, like, too many jokes. It didn't make much sense. And, like, some parts, it was pretty good, like, when they're going down fighting Medusa. Now, I should have said this in the beginning, but I'm probably going to add it back with text. Spoilers, people. If you guys are complaining about spoilers, you know, this is a movie review. I'm going to talk about the movie. So, when you watch a review and they say something about the movie and then you think it's a spoiler and you complain about it, don't go looking for reviews. Don't watch it. It's going to be in the title of this video. Spoilers. Anyway. When they're down there fighting Medusa, the guy has a bow and arrow, and he like jumps up and he has it like ready, and he looks to the side of him, there's a guy that's stone in the same position as him, and he says, well, that's a confidence booster. That kind of stuff, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good bit of jokes and comedy there. But in other places, I don't know. I don't remember too much from the movie because it was pretty boring. It was. There was people to the left and to the right of me that were sleeping. outright sleeping. In between the actual action scenes, there was a lot of, just chat 'em up dialogue, and a lot of it didn't really matter. There was this chick that really got on my nerves. Just absolutely just got on my nerves. Why? Because she pops up every 15 minutes for no apparent reason. Like, first she pops up, oh, I'm your guardian, Perseus. Then she pops up again, she's just trailing behind the warriors. And she's not carrying any baggage or anything, so she's in this one outfit. But then later on, she's in another outfit. So I'm like, what, did she pack a wardrobe? Because back over here, she didn't have anything. She was just walking. So where'd she get the outfit from? And then she pops up when they're fighting the scorpions. The scorpion fight was actually pretty good. Even though it didn't make much sense because there was this guy who was like given powers by Hades. And for some reason his blood like created scorpions. Like if you saw the scene, like his hand became a scorpion or whatever. And when his blood seeped into the earth, scorpions came up. So I'm thinking, oh, his blood is making these scorpions, but these djinn people from the desert, they ride these scorpions. So what, did his hand and his blood make the scorpions, or did they summon the scorpions? Because according to these people, the scorpions have existed long before this guy ever got these powers from Hades. I don't know, I think that's a plot hole. I'm just guessing. There was two very interesting characters, and they were like expert hunters. I mean, they seemed like they killed a lot of monsters. Dude that wielded a hammer and dude that wielded an axe. They were the coolest characters in the movie. I wanted to see them a lot more than what they showed. They didn't even get to go down and fight Medusa. Now, I'm not familiar with the original Clash of the Titans. I'm not familiar with the story of Perseus. It was 9th grade when I read that story, a long, long time ago. But the fight with Medusa, all the interesting characters just died. And at the same time, all the uninteresting characters died. Everyone died in the fight of Medusa. And I want that lady to die so much. This lady right here, I just wanted her to die so much because, firstly, I think she's ugly as heck. And if they were going to make her a character, just put her in there. Don't let her just pop up every now and then. Like, she popped up during the scorpion fight and she somehow just severed a scorpion's tail with her little whip or whatever. I just didn't really get her character. I don't know if she was from the actual story of Perseus. I don't know. I just wanted her gone. Just gone. The fight with the Kraken, it was, he appeared, he tore some stuff up, but he didn't really do much. Perseus took care of him pretty quick. This movie, it was boring. Just absolutely boring. I'm sorry this review is not that good, but the movie itself just wasn't very great. I mean, it's like they had action scene, boredom. Action scene, boredom. Action scene, 5 minutes later, it's done. Then, boredom. It's kind of hard to put my finger on this movie, but it really pissed me off, especially when I paid for that 3D ticket. Guys, don't go see this movie in 3D. Do not go see it in 3D. You will be very, very upset. I know I was. And everyone else that came out there were as well. I'm not going to give the movie a score. I'm not too big on scores. Just, if you want to go see the movie, go see it. If you trust the things I've said in this review, that should be enough for you to not go see it. I just want to forget about what I saw. I really do. Let me just go brief conclusion of what I've said real quick to give you guys my final thoughts. Pretty boring film. Let's see. Cool scenes. Scorpion fight. The other cool scene. Fight with Medusa. Last cool scene. The bit with the Kraken. And Hades at the end. So you got 3 scenes in the movie that were worth watching. And those 3 scenes put together probably make up probably 20 minutes of the whole film. And the rest of the film is the unimpressive looking gods. They look so wimpy and just horrible representations of gods. And the rest is just boring dialogue with bits of comedy put in there that don't need to be there. Clash of the Titans. Clash of the Boredom.